Hi, welcome to this episode of Careerscast. So you have a degree in something other than business. Perhaps you're a computer scientist or you have a degree in engineering, and you have been working for a few years. And people start telling you that you need to learn leadership, you need to become a manager, you need to understand organizational behavior, you need to know more about business. And the question is, should I attend an MBA program? MBAs are expensive, MBAs are time consuming, and not for everyone. So, if you are going through this very common situation as working in technology and considering an MBA program, this episode is for you. So, stick around and let's talk MBAs. This is Careers Cast, a podcast for students and early career professionals who want to develop a successful and meaningful long term career in technology. I'm your host, Marcio Saito. Welcome to Careers Cast, and today we are going to talk about the difficult decision of attending an MBA program when you are not necessarily a business professional today. So perhaps you have an engineering degree, you work in technology, and after a few years, the question comes up: should I enroll and attend an MBA program? I do have some experience and insight in this space. I have mentored, sponsored, and worked with people who came back from MBA programs, perhaps a few dozen of them. And so I'm going to share those insights and hopefully help you to decide whether that's something for you or not. Um in my career, I have, in certain occasions, been responsible for running a company, a small company that I helped to create. And I also have worked for large corporations, leading organizations, right? So in my last corporate job, I was leading a team of a couple hundred people in large tech, and in all those occasions, uh, the subject was technical, right? We are developing technology, we are developing technical products, we are interacting with technical markets. But if I think about the role I was performing as the leader in the organization, it had nothing to do with technology, right? My day-to-day work involved trying to influence the market and customers through thought leadership, through marketing, uh, thinking about the company strategy, right? Setting goals, setting mission, and then tracking the progress towards those goals. Worrying about the organizational health, things like creating and maintaining culture, managing the talent pool, hiring people, managing HR, making sure everyone is inspired and synchronized, right, and pushing the right direction towards the common goals. I was worried about funding, about budgets. Do we have enough money to fulfill our mission? And the common thing among all those things I was doing is I didn't learn any of that in school, right, in engineering school, which is where I came from. And it does happen that in my case, in my trajectory, right, because I became an entrepreneur and worked with startups, I had the opportunity uh, to do things that I didn't know how to do, right? So I had never done company strategy, and I was defining company strategy. I had never done marketing, and I was experimenting with marketing, right? So in my case, my MBA, right? I learned my MBA skills by doing it and learning by trial and error and trying and learning by experimentation and learning by interacting in real life with peers in the industry. And if you have that opportunity, I think it's a better way to learn business administration skills is to learn by doing it, right? Uh, but not everyone has a career trajectory that's conducive to that. So if you are, if you go to business school, for example, and you join a major enterprise corporation, you're not going to have a lot of opportunities, right, to exercise those strategic skills unless you eventually get to that role, right? So if you're working for large companies or if you never had the opportunity, right, to exercise those skills, then going back to school, taking a 2 year break to learn that in school and come back prepared to apply in real life, in my experience, can be a good investment. So I personally would favor learning by doing if you have the opportunity to do it. If you don't, then I think MBA program can be a good use of time. So what's an MBA program? Is a Master in Business Administration. Uh, there are differences between the different schools, but every MBA program is going to offer you a core knowledge, a core subject set of subjects that will involve, for example, the financial aspects of business administration, so economics, accounting, uh, financial reporting, things like that. It's going to be part of pretty much every MBA program. You're going to learn operational aspects of managing a business, things like running HR, supply chain management, concepts like that. Most MBA programs are going to give you methodologies to implement strategic thinking, right? How do you set goals for a company? What are the frameworks you can use to measure progress of the company towards those goals? Um, and so those are examples of things that pretty much every MBA program is going to offer. In addition to that, they offer elective subjects, typically in the second year, where you can focus your attention in certain areas, right? Certain functional areas. So you might get an MBA with emphasis on innovation, or MBA with emphasis in entrepreneurship, or MBA with emphasis in information systems, MBA with emphasis on legal and regulatory compliance, for example, right? And so the core is common. Depending on the program you select, they might offer different emphasis or different areas of specialization. Um, so selecting the right program is important. Um, why is it that attending MBA is a major decision? First, is a huge financial commitment. If you're attending a top school in the US, a reasonable budget is somewhere between $30,000 and $100,000 a year, and that depends on your personal circumstances, your geography, your selection. If you're an international student coming to the US to attend an MBA program, you can double that. So it is a major financial commitment. There is, in some cases, there is financial aid available. Student loans is always an option. And if you work for a large corporation, a lot of companies, they do subsidize the cost of taking an MBA. They might pay for the tuition. They might allow you to, while employee take time off to attend the program. They might offer career incentives for you to attend the MBA, right? Uh, Assuming you have the financial resources to attend an MBA, time and opportunity cost is also a major consideration. This is usually something that happens mid-career, and taking 2 years off to go back to school is a major commitment, right? It affects your life. It stops your organic progression in your career, and you need to make sure that the value you get from attending offsets, right, the cost, the opportunity cost of taking 2 years off. So that's an important consideration. Um, Attending, selecting a school is something you need to do, but the school is also going to select you, right? So the top schools are going to be very selective on the candidates they take in. They're going to make sure or try to verify that your career path is such that it justifies the investment in an MBA. They are going to check if you have at least started to acquire the basic skills, right? Leadership skills, financial management skills, organizational behavior skills. So they're gonna try to select candidates who have demonstrated interest in those subjects, and they're also going to require some baseline level of general knowledge. Typically, they're going to use standardized testing. GMAT is the most common in the admissions program, and they're going to look for personal attributes, like cultural attributes that they like. And typically, MBA programs are going to want to have people who are open-minded, who are innovative, who are collaborative and things like that. So there is an interview process. You need to submit a personal essay, for example, and they are going to be selecting people who they believe are more suitable and can benefit the most from the programs. Why, besides the academics, right? Besides the knowledge you acquire, why would you do an MBA? I think if you're attending an MBA in the US, in the top schools in the US was the place, right, where the notion of business as a discipline first emerged. Some of the biggest thinkers in business administrations are in the US. So typically you're going to be learning from the best, right? You're going to be learning from professors who are the leading thinkers in their disciplines. And I have been in touch with several MBA programs, and I think it's amazing. Just the opportunity to learn from the best. So that's something that the top schools can offer. That's why it's expensive. And if you ask someone who is enjoying MBA program, they're gonna say they learn a lot from the classmates, right, the peers. Typical MBA programs in top schools, they're going to have a very diverse group of students, people from different countries, different cultural backgrounds, different social backgrounds, different levels of seniority and experience. And a lot of people attending MBA schools, they say the main benefit is not really the academics, it's the connections I made, what I learned from this diverse group of people, the professional networking that carries over beyond the MBA program. And in some cases, because it's a group that driven, successful, focused people, right? Sometimes you form life friendships there that last, beyond the sphere of professional, beyond the time of the program. So if you're doing an MBA, you should expect and you should seek, right, those other benefits in addition to the knowledge, the academic knowledge you get. So we cover admissions, we cover cost. Yeah, I think you're ready for me to get to the core of this episode, right? Which is what is the process to decide, right, whether or not attending MBA is for you. As I told you, I personally favor learning by doing. So if you have that opportunity, I would say don't do a formal MBA. If you have the opportunity to exercise leadership, learn leadership by doing it. It's a better way to learn. It's a lower cost of opportunity. It's more satisfying. It's more exciting. Now, if it makes sense for you to do an MBA, and the fact that you are listening to this video shows that you are pondering that question. Let me tell you that no YouTuber, right, can give you a recipe to decide that, right? You're gonna have to reflect, and you're gonna have to decide for yourself. What I can tell you is that of all the people I sponsor or somehow send to attend the MBA program, of all the people who consider, perhaps only 20% of them actually decide to do, right? So it is a difficult, relatively rare decision to commit to a 2-year MBA program. And then of the people who actually do, I believe 2/3 of them actually come back better prepared, better positioned to become an organizational leader. And about a third of them fail, in my view, right, from getting the benefits of the program. And the people who fail are people who go to the attend the program and they spend 2 years very focused on learning the tools and the methodologies and the frameworks and the mechanics of business administration, right? And I would say an MBA program is too big of a cost for you to learn how to do financial modeling in a spreadsheet, right? Those are important things, important skills. But if you come back and you forgot, right, that the essence of a business is still people, right? It's still human connection, right? It's about influencing customers. It is about inspiring people to build great things, right? It's about maintaining a work environment that's healthy. It's managing a talent pool, right? It's all about people. And because the MBAs, some MBAs focus a lot on the methodology, the frameworks, some people lose sight of the human essence of business. And the ones who come back and they remember that, right? And then they add the methodologies and the tools, they are very successful. The people who go out for 2 years forget that running a business is still about people, and they come back with excessive faith in their spreadsheets and their models. Those are the people, in my view, who waste time going back to school for 2 years, and they come back with mechanics. They don't come back with a deep understanding of business, as I mentioned, right? And I think you need to reflect, right, whether or not you're interested and you're going to have the opportunity, right, to exercise that deep understanding of business. And if that's the case, then an MBA is a justified investment for you. So how do you get to that conclusion? It's through reflection, and but I am also going to give a suggestion of actions you can take, right? I would say this is a major investment. It requires and deserves due diligence. So spend time and energy in your process of decision making, right? And I think the 3 steps I can suggest to you: pick your mentors, right? Not one person, several people who are in the general in positions of leadership, right? In the career path you are pursuing, and hopefully someone who knows you enough so that they can provide some advice to you, some um, mentoring to you, right? I do have additional content on how to conduct informational interview. So set informational interviews with them, conversations with them, and ask for their advice, right? On whether or not for you as your attributes in the career path you are in, whether or not they believe, right, the investment is worth or not. And don't get one perspective, get multiple perspectives. And then if that plus your reflection, you decide you wanna pursue it, then you need to do your research on the different programs, the different schools, considering price, geography, commitment, and all that. And then once you select your candidate programs, make sure you talk to people who have attended their programs. Again, hopefully someone who knows you, right? Knows the area, the career paths you're exploring, and get their perspective, right? Not necessarily their advice, but validate everything I told you. Do you actually learn the things that I think you should learn in an MBA, right? Is it very lecture oriented? Is it more workshops and interactive? Uh, do your research, talk to people who actually attend the program, and focus on the results, right? Are those people better prepared? Are they successful, right, taking leadership roles in their organizations? And that's really the only way for you to decide. Uh, you can watch other videos, but I can tell you nobody will be able to answer that question to you. If this content was insightful, helped you to think about this important decision, then please subscribe and share this channel. My goal is to help you to develop successful long-term careers in technology. And I see you in the next episode. Bye.